Roosevelt had some concern when the Germans went in and did their version of claiming land, etc. And I think that he realized that there were possibly natural resources down there and other things that could be of great use to scientists and in commercial and industrial purposes, etc. But first of all, they needed to find out what they were.
President Roosevelt commissioned a large expedition to Antarctica, headed by his friend Admiral Richard E. Byrd. On June 30th, 1939, Congress established the United States Antarctic Service, the first government-supported expedition since 1820. Byrd offered his old ship, the Bear of Oakland, which was commissioned by the Navy as the USS Bear. Two bases were planned: West Base, near Little America, and East Base, over 1,800 miles away. Both bases were to be supported with their own Curtiss-Wright Condor. An experimental overland vehicle called the Snow Cruiser was especially...
That was the dumbest thing. Very heavy, really big tires, two wimpy diesel engines. One time I was loading the rockets on the C-130, and we'll get to those in a bit. And as I stepped off the airplane, they would lift the skis so the tires would poke into the snow, so the aircraft would kind of kneel, so the hook points were not as high. And I noticed when I stepped off that I sank halfway to my knees in the powder snow, but the skis on the airplane only sank down about 3 inches. Now this thing weighs, I don't know, 20 ton or something, and they have those tires, they're fairly wide, but they only have a contact of about 4 inches where they hit the ground. And they're slick. What were they thinking? The whole thing should have been a huge caterpillar track is what it should have been. But they thought that being big tires was somehow helpful. They drove it from where it was built up in Ohio all the way to the East Coast. It was the width of 2 lanes of cars. There's pictures online where you can see the cars bailing off as this thing is coming down the road. It was anyway, they talk about it here.
Designed to be a mobile base, a Beechcraft plane for aerial exploration rode piggyback, and inside were living quarters. It was a failure. Severely underpowered, its bald tires spun uselessly on the slightest incline. A Barclay Grove seaplane assigned to the USS Bear was flown to scout for possible East Base sites.
Let's go to 36.